Sorry about that, guys. I somehow got my recording messed up, so I gotta redo this part. So, this is part 1 of What If I Became Frieza. I'm just gonna go ahead and explain the story, because I've already done it once and it messed up. So, I was young, me. I know about right now the current manga of Granola, like the beginning, so it's just normal, the human life. I would see an old lady about to get hit by a bus. I would go and push her out of the way, and it would kill me. I would wake up, and this would happen after Frieza had destroyed Planet Vegeta. Now, I would freak out a little bit and be like, wait, I'm Frieza? Now, I can breathe in space. That's a good point. But, I would then go and tell him that I will be right back. Alright, Lord Frieza. Yes, Lord Frieza. I would go to Namek. A mission. Now, I would know everything about the timeline and universe of DBS, GT, etc. Heroes. I would know this version of Frieza is not cooler, doesn't exist in this universe. This DBS version of Frieza. So, I would go to Namek. Now, they would still they would have their memories. They would be hesitant. They would basically about to fight me. And I would say that I just want to speak to Great Elder Guru. They would say, for what? The Dragon Balls? No, I want him to read my mind. How do you know he can read minds? Because I already know I am not Frieza. If I was, I would have killed you already and taken the Dragon Balls. Right. Yeah? Sorry about that, guys. I'm not getting it, so. Sorry. Well, let me get to where I was saying. I would ask Greater Guru to read my mind. He would read my mind. Now, he does not. A little bit of my mind about me becoming Frieza. Now, he would know my energy is good. So, he would let Nail read my mind too. He would basically let Nail read his mind. I would see that this ain't Frieza. So, he would unlock my potential. I would ask him, can you unlock my potential too? How do you know how? Oh, yeah. You're from another world. I know about everything that's going to happen. And I know about when you're going to die. Oh. Great Elder Murray is your replacement as well. Oh. I would ask him, can you unlock my potential and let me get the Dragon Balls? He would say, yes, and he would unlock my potential. So, I would then go. Now, I would say the time, I don't really know how fast the Frieza Force ships can go. So, I'll say I have about 2 months, a month, to learn to control Frieza's power to be able to get to Namek. I'll go ahead and say that. So, I've learned the basics of Frieza's first and second form. Or, as we know, it's Frieza's less suppressed first form. Basically, that ain't his base form. Then I would get the Dragon Balls. They would get the Dragon Balls for me. And I would ask them for my first wish to make everyone but the Namekians on, this Namek. Sorry, let me say it. I would make everyone in the universe forget all about Frieza's wrongdoing. This would not affect the God of Destructions, the angels, and Zeno, everyone like that. It would not affect the people that are dead. It would not affect them. My second wish is to have a ship be able to go to, I would know about Star Wars and etc. So, light speed, basically, kind of like the warp ships can do in Star Wars. My third wish would be to give me lots of resources on my Frieza ship, basically. Now, this would affect everyone's memories. But, the conditions. God of Destructions, angels, Zeno, and etc. And it won't affect the dead, the people of the dead. So I would then, that would be the third wish, just and I would say goodbye. I would get in my upgraded spaceship, like pod, basically. Basically, it would give me, I would get back to, I would basically have the whole ship there. I would get back in it and go. Now, they would forget every bad thing I'd done. So, basically, it's kind of, I would just say that they still would admire Frieza in this version. So, like, I would explain that they don't need to keep their jobs. I would have scared them, probably tell them to do it, and I would say they would forget every bad thing I'd done to them. So, like, I wouldn't go to their ship, and they would forget all the people that died on their planets, etc. So I would tell them that they don't have to work for me, but if they help me, I would help them in exchange. You can either live with me on the ship, or you could go and live on your planet, and I would still help your people, give you supplies, food, water, if, they even drink or eat, their species, etc. We would start to go everywhere in the universe and help people instead of taking over it. Now, Goku is still just landed, so I would go to Yardrat, because I would know about Moro. I would go to Yardrat, learn about ki control. Now, it ain't really confirmed how long it took for Goku to learn all the abilities on Yardrat, but we'll just say it took to the about halfway through Dragon Ball. I've learned how to ki control, basically control the body more. I have learned to basically through that time all the abilities, shape-shifting, for spirit vision, and healing. My next goal would just be to train, and I have unlocked my non-canon form. Frieza could probably still do it. My 5th evolution, Frieza's 5th form, let's just say it like that, because I know about Cooler. I would also learn the golden form for training and mastered it, the form. Now, right now, I would say I'm around ROF Frieza level. I'm sorry, Frieza's potential is really high. 4 months to get golden form and able to surpass his Frieza Saga level to all the way to, God, Super Saiyan Blue, Goku, and Vegeta. Separately, I would say that I'm probably stronger than the ROF Frieza. With my final form, I unlocked the, I have mastered it in the my golden form, and I can use it in my final form, this form on the image, or the 5th form, and golden evolution. I'll call it golden Frieza still. Then I would go around the universe and giving supplies. Now, I would go and get King Vegeta. Not King Vegeta. I would go and after I learned, instant transmission, I would instant transmission to King Ko and murder him, kill him, and then I would tell them that you're all free to live, go where they want, etc. Now, I would say that Kami had forgotten about he probably doesn't know about Frieza, but King Yama had told him about Frieza. His memory was wiped still. Like I said, the people of the dead has not forgotten. It's just the living people right now. So, I would go and basically, the universe would be pretty high. The mortal level would increase really high. I would go, I would know about, I would say Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta would still, I would just say that Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta don't have a place to live, so I would offer them to live on my planet in exchange for, I would give them supplies to live and train. They probably wouldn't agree to training, but they would probably accept if they help me out with certain things, whatever I need, they can live on the planet. Frieza, planet Frieza, whatever. Now, let's just say Frieza, the planet Frieza, whatever the planet Frieza lives on, we'll go ahead and say that planet was already exterminated. So I would keep that planet, but instead I would help everyone around the universe. I would secretly go and get Broly and Paragus. Now I would get them off of Vampa and let them live on one of the plants that Frieza had basically murdered and killed. I would take them to a planet where they can live and survive, and I would give them supplies. I would basically give them unlimited food, water. I gave them like a Frieza scouter probably, to basically just contact me if you need anything, and I would take care of you. In exchange, I know that you want to get revenge on Vegeta, but instead of that, I'll let you live on this planet, and if you need any help, you come and get me. I would be instant transmission in doing this, or for using this ship. So, I basically learned my golden form and my fifth form. Now, Raditz would probably go to Earth for different reasons. He probably wouldn't want to go to Earth because of Frieza not being... Their minds have been wiped. For them, Planet Vegeta was just, asteroid that killed it. So, instead of calling Lord Frieza, I would just be Frieza. Or Mr. Frieza. That's basically the beginning. I would go to around, like I said, halfway through the arc that I done all of that, of Dragon Ball. I would instant transmission to Earth. Now, I'm heavily suppressed. Like, I would say my power level right now is about... probably 10,000. I'll say heavily suppressed. I would go to... No, ma'am. I would go to Kami's and would ask if you could take me to King Yama. No, I would say this is around the beginning of the Saiyan arc. Raditz. I would say Raditz to come with me, and we would go to Earth. This is DBS Goku, by the way. The new timeline, etc. So, me and Raditz would go to just visit Kakarot. Now, I would explain to him that his head, he fell in a river. We're going by a mixture of the DBS and Bardock special. So he fell in a river and hit his head and survived, lost his memories. So he may not remember you, Raditz. So just try to be calm. Now, the reason why Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta don't try to... They have tried to fight me several times. Vegeta did, and Raditz to kill me. Raditz has two, and I have spared their lives. Like, I'm sorry, I gave them a hit on my power. I went to about... Their power levels, at about 10,000. I would say this power level versions, and they would think... I would basically tell them are you going to stop? Like, basically have like a little death beam ready, and they would tell me yes. So I would, do you surrender? They would ask me, are you going to kill me? I would tell, no, Vegeta. But why? We tried to kill you. Because I believe people can change. Even warriors like the Saiyans. You do? So it would be several times. Now, Raditz has quit doing that. Vegeta and Nappa would do it occasionally. Raditz would go and explain to Kakarot about everything, about the Saiyans, about his history. And he would have to believe him because of the tails and etc. Gohan has a tail. I would warn Goku to not let Gohan see the full moon. He would ask me why. Because that's the exact same thing that killed your grandpa. I'm sorry, Goku, but I know that, the monster that killed your grandpa, it was you. So, I do know about the GT, every Dragon Ball franchise, so I know about Super Saiyan 4, God, Blue, etc. So I know the timelines, I know the sagas. Now, sadly, I'm heavily suppressed for this reason. They're creating Cell and getting DNA off of Goku and them. I would tell Goku to come with me. We're going to go visit Kami's. And he would, of course, no, I would first go to Kami and explain to him. I would let him read my mind and warn him that we need to go talk to King Yama. I would tell him I basically would give him the image in my memory of Goku fighting going in the tournament against Universe 6, and if they lose, the Earth is going to be swapped universes. So he would agree. We would go to King Yama, and he would still remember, but I would instant transmission behind him and would basically grab his head gently and let him give him some of my memories of how I came into Frieza's body and everything. I would also give him my memories of the Tournament of Power. Every memory of Goku surviving. Goku basically saving the universe. Saving is basically making him not do his job. And if Goku learns, I would tell him, King Yama, if you let Goku learn the Kaioken and Spirit Bomb, you won't have a lot of mortals trying to kill each other. Currently, myself, I've only been killing certain mortals. Only been killing people that have done evil in Frieza's body. Frieza has killed a lot of people. I have wiped their memories so they don't try to come and kill me. Now, he would know about the Super Saiyan God and etc. Super Saiyan Blue against Hit. He would even know about the Tournament of Power. About the universe being erased means he's going to die as well. So he would agree. Now, he would agree for me and Goku going and training with King Kai. Now, he would explain. I asked to go to King Kai's real quick, because King Kai still remembers. I would instant transmission to King Kai and grab his little blue head and let him read my memories. I learned it from Guru. I would show him my memories about how I came into Frieza's body, how I wiped everyone's memory and been helping people for the past years, to the beginning of the Saiyan saga. I've been showing mercies to certain ones. Like I ain't killing certain ones because, I'm not going to kill Moro or Granola because of how they are, and I am not going to kill Gohan. I'm not going to kill Raditz, Snapper, Vegeta because we're going to need them more for just the Super Saiyan God ritual. We're going to need them for the Tournament of Power. We're going to need them. I would still remember. I would know what ifs basically. I've watched What If Raditz turned good in Nappa, so I would know about that. Plus, I've basically took Paragus and Broly to a planet where they can live and not be on Vampa. I've been saving people, so they would allow me and Goku to go to King Yama. To train with King Kai. So me and him I would instant transmission back to Earth, grab Goku, and we would go and train. Now right now, the Frieza Force had their memories wiped about every evil thing I have done to them. They would still call me Lord Frieza at first, and I would tell them they don't need to. They can still work for me and be peacekeepers of the universe, and they would agree. So the Ginyu Force is peacekeepers of the Ginyu Force, basically. Basically, everyone's good. Raditz, and Nappa, the Ginyu Force, Dodoria, and Zarbon were peacekeepers now. I would have went to Miras and, they just instant transmission around Ariza's spaceship and go and talk to Miras and would explain to him that during that time I would ask, can you take me to can you take me to the Spring Kai's planet? And I would give him memories of the ultimate form, and he would just take me there, but would leave afterwards. So I'm gonna say I pulled out. Okay, they would know about me. I would say this would happen earlier, but I would come back after I train with Goku and get the Kaioken and Spirit Bomb. So me and Goku would go, and we would train and get the Kaioken and Spirit Bomb. Now, King Kai knows I am not Frieza. I am a good person. So now he's trying to teach it, go with the further, levels. And I'm trying to combine it with my other forms. My second form, third form, fourth, golden form with the fourth form, or fifth form with the golden form. Separately, I would use the golden form separately. Now, I would say me and Goku can go up to times 20 during the time, because Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa I'm sorry, the Saiyan Saga and Saiyan Saga would still happen, but the Frieza Dynamic Saga would not happen. After that, I would take Goku back, after the years, and I would tell him that he needs to go trade Gohan martial arts. And don't force him to be a fighter, but teach him to be not just be a fighter. Teach him to be, he would keep, to keep training, and to keep become a scholar if he wants to. Basically, the future Gohan we want. I'm just going to say this would not affect the future timeline. I would say it wouldn't affect the future timeline. Maybe. I don't even think if we did, say, altered it and say the future timeline still exists and wasn't affected, then that future timeline would happen. But if we didn't, y'all can pick if there would be a future timeline. But if there was a future timeline, it would not affect this would be the canon Trunks timeline. But if we don't, basically the future timeline doesn't exist, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, let me get to what I was saying. We would learn the Kaioken Spirit Bomb. I would take Goku back. Then I would go to Mirrors. Now, how I would do it is I would know the power signature of Jocko, the Galactic Patrol King, the basically the leader. I would instant transmission him and go and talk to Mirrors. He would get me in contact with. He would explain what happened to me during the time between the Dragon Ball Saga to the Saiyan Saga. This mortal somehow died in a different reality or timeline, and somehow was transported to this timeline in Frieza's body. So I would go to him, and we would get in contact with the Spring Kais, and I would ask him, I need to go to your planet and pull out the Z Sword, and will you please teach me the Kai technique? And they would agree. Now he would ask me, why are you trying to pull out the Z Sword? Because this may be a weapon to fight Majin Buu, but I got something better than the Majin Buu. Lord Beerus, I know about him. He trapped one of the Kais in that sword. And he was, wait, what? Yes, Lord Beerus trapped old Kai in that sword because he was giving him sass. And he hasn't done it to you because you don't care. And he would be like, wait, okay. I would say my first form would pull out the sword, and I would tell him to summon Kachan. Now, between this time, I would do that. I would break this sword, and old Kai would come out. Now like I said, the deities has not forgot. Didn't have their memories affected. So at first, he would be pretty peeing in his pants. He'd be like, Frieza, please don't kill me. I don't really know the lifespan, but I would say during the time old Kai, probably Frieza's still alive. And now Spring Guy would explain that he was immortal that somehow got in the body of Frieza. Oh. I would explain to him, I'm the one that freed you too. I know about what happened in the future. I need you to unlock my potential, and I need someone else's potential, some other people's potential unlocked in the future. Basically, I'm thinking in my head, if I can get the normal Z fighters, I probably won't do the androids. But if I can get the human Z fighters, Gohan still, and I'll get Vidal's ultimate forms unlocked later on when, Gohan meets Vidal. Yeah. So, he would unlock my ultimate form. Then I would learn the Kai technique, and I would explain to him, Thanks, Spring Kai. Now, I would ask him also, hey, by chance, can you, if I ever need it, can I borrow those Batara earrings? Now, they would know why I needed it, and I would explain to him that if two normal mortals, say mortals, not deities, if two mortals loses the Tartaryans, they would merge bodies and become a stronger being for an hour. If immortal, deities use the Tartaryans, it is permanent unless you use the Dragon Balls. So, if I ever do need them, if I ever do, you will allow me to borrow them. And they would say, sure. I would then instant transmission back to King Kai, back to King Kai, and I would go searching for the dead Metamorians. I would say that it affected, no. I would learn the fusion dance, the fusion dance from the Metamorines. The basics. I would know how to, I probably wouldn't, just in case, I probably really don't need to learn the fusion dance, but probably the Kaioken. Certain techniques. I know about the fusion dance, it's just a dance and you need to learn it, so I probably wouldn't go do that. Then I would go back and me and Goku had become good friends. I would give him a scouter. I would also supply the planet and basically make the mortal level higher, and plus showing that helping Earth out. Tell Goku, he would learn about him becoming a great ape and killing Gohan. And I would decide during that time, after that, it would take a couple years. I would say the Frieza saga would be, and I would get Goku, Raditz. No, I'm training. I'm using my one of the techniques that I learned from the Metamorines to clone yourself. Basically, I decided to train the normal Z fighters with it, and then I'm helping the Saiyans out. I'm gonna teach them how to become a Super Saiyan. Basically, I would tell them that get them together, and I would explain Goku, Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta. Gohan, Goku can teach them later. I would tell him about the Super Saiyan, and the Super Saiyan is not a legend. Now, I would probably think in my head, I'm gonna say this. I would save Super Saiyan God for after we beat Boo. I would teach Goku and the others that the ritual. At least let him absorb the God Ki, and then if they need to, be able to go back into Super Saiyan God against Beerus. I would at least assist them. I would then go. train. My clone would help train the others to become stronger, and I would just the normal humans. I wouldn't do Gohan yet. I would take Tien, the normal Z fighters, the ones that retired as well, to great other gurus. Old Kai to unlock their ultimate forms. I gave him memories of the Tournament of Power and etc. And I told him they're going to have to it's better to get them used to the forms for the Tournament of Power. Because it's probably still going to happen. Goku, if I know anything, it's going to happen still. So, he would be unlocking their potentials. Wow, and then I would be training with the ones that are currently... I would instant transmission the ones to... During that time, Piccolo has turned good. And he probably... Eventually, from my memories... Kami and Piccolo would probably still fuse, and they would go to Namek. And probably... Or a lot earlier, before the Android Saga even happens, probably. I would say between that time, I give him basically the history of what's going to happen in the future. So he would go and merge with Piccolo again. They would merge and they would become Piccolo again. Now, I would instant transmission Piccolo back to Namek. And there are some warrior Namekians, but I would give greater guru memories of, to get Piccolo a little stronger. Now, this is going to happen before I train the humans. Piccolo's going to be with them getting their potential unlocked as well, currently in the timeline. He would merge with Nail as well because of the boost he needs. It'll give him a boost against. What? Okay. Sorry guys, give me just a minute. I'm checking the recording. I got 30 minutes. I'll go to about 35. So during that time, Piccolo has merged with Calm, and then they became the new guardian of Earth. I have taught the humans that are being trained to unlock their ultimate forms by a greater guru, the great old Kai. While I'm training the Saiyans, I would decide to threaten them and would tell them that I'm going to kill you. I would power up basically a death ball, a supernova, and I'm about to, I would say I would throw it at them. Now this is a distance away from them. All the current Saiyans, not Broly, because I know about his dangerous power right now, his Akari state. They would, okay, they all think they're about to die. Now this is, I would train them a little to be able to get enough S cells and power level. I would say I would get them to about the normal power level of Goku when he first became a Super Saiyan. I would throw a supernova during that time, because I would do it on Earth. They would see that I'm doing it on Earth. I would act like I'm about to do it. They would, I would say some of them would do it for the Earth, and some of them would. Probably, I would say during that time, Vegeta has gotten with Bulma, but I would say Nappa is pretty good as well. They're changed over the years. I would throw it on planet Earth, and I would say a couple of them, Goku, Raditz, and Vegeta would become Super Saiyans. Nappa and Raditz, Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz would become Super Saiyans. The two other Saiyans would not. Goku, Vegeta, and Raditz would become Super Saiyans. Nappa and the other two wouldn't. And they would teach the others how to try to become Super Saiyans. I would explain that there are different levels of Super Saiyan. I can't show them, but there's Super Saiyan 2. This is the next level after you master Super Saiyan 1, grade 4, Super Saiyan 3. I'm coming! And etc. I'm gonna leave this part here. Now, during this, we would skip to about the cell side. The androids, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys. Will Trunks from the same timeline come, or will he just not be there at all? Leave the comments below. See you guys.